What's up, YouTube? It's been a long time. Sorry it's a little bright out here, so I'm squinting a little much. I forgot my glasses today, but it's been a while since I made a video. As you can see, my studio has changed a little bit. I have this cage back here now because I had some issues with work that I ended up having to quit, and I found another job making more money and a company vehicle, so it all worked out for the best. I was just tired of working 7 days a week for nearly 2 months straight with no thank you, no anything. Just greed is what it ended up being. But so I had to pull over to make this video because this little van is kind of loud on the street. So I'm on the side of the road right here by this truck stop. But anyway, a lot of stuff has happened since I've made a video, man. A lot of big names in the truth community as well as the faith movements have passed on, and one of which is Rob Skiba. Prayers go out to his family. But I've been following Rob for a very long time, and he's had some pretty interesting studies. But one of the things, and I'll come back to Rob here shortly, but I want to show you this. This came up just a few days ago. It's actually a couple of weeks old, I think a week and a half old or so, but it involves Jared Kushner. Check this out. This is from the Jerusalem Post from October 11th, 2021. Kushner in Neset will have a role in advancing Abraham Accords. And this is the picture they used, but what I want you to look at is the flag of Morocco. It's got the yellow border with a little green with the black star. But when you hold this thing out as if it were flying in the wind, that star is actually an upside down star. Kushner just happens to look like he's walking out of the flames of, well, you know. So the flag, the Moroccan flag, I think that's what that one is very interesting because 3 months ago I made a video about the rise of the Moors. If you guys had seen that, if you haven't, you can go back and check it out. But the flag that they were bearing on the interstate when they had the standoff with Massachusetts State Police was very similar, almost identical except for the colors. But here's a little clip if you didn't see that.
Standoff with police on I-95 in Wakefield were arraigned in a Malden courtroom today. Some of the men told a judge they're foreign nationals and belong to the Rise of the Moors. It's a Rhode Island-based paramilitary group which claims to abide by a fictitious 1700s treaty between the U.S. and Morocco. The conflict started when a state trooper stopped to check on 2 cars pulled over on 95 North overnight on Saturday and saw the group wearing military-style clothing and carrying long guns and pistols. Members of the group said they were headed up to Maine for, quote, training and had stopped to refuel. The standoff shut down parts of I-95 for hours until the group surrendered to police later that morning. Before they did, they went live on YouTube.
We're not anti-government. We're not anti-police. We're not sovereign citizens. We're not black identity extremists.
So I'm wondering, and this is all speculation, you know, I'm not saying this is just my mind working here because I'm seeing all these things kind of tie together. But I'm wondering if these Moors, because they claim to be, you know, true Israelites, and we know that the tribe of Dan was mentioned in the Old Testament, but is not mentioned in the book of Revelation. And there's a lot of people through their studies have come to the understanding that the AC will be someone from the tribe of Dan. I don't know if that has any correlation to the Moors or the rise of the Moors, but Saturday I was sitting on the couch and I was just thumbing through my gallery on my phone, and I happened to accidentally hit that video, The Rise of the Moors, and it started playing on the couch, and I let it play for a few minutes and then I turned it off. And then yesterday, my wife, she's had her videos playing while she was cooking or washing dishes. I can't remember exactly what she was doing at the time, but the smaller channel that she follows, he put this video up that I find quite disturbing. Check this out. So yeah, that's the Pope in his wheezing decrepitness bowing down and kissing the feet of the Moors. That's very odd, to say the least, if he's the the top guy of the Satanic Church, the synagogue of Satan, if you will. Why would he be bowing down to these people, kissing their feet? Not just one or two, but every one of them that was presented in that video, male and female, he got down and kissed their feet. So I started wondering, we know if he is the false prophet, he will be doing things, signs and wonders with the AC, to deceive, if it were possible, even the elect, right? So I'm wondering if this Black Hebrew movement that has been going on for a good while now has something to do with the Moors and the rise of the Moors, because just like in that video, that was the guy's channel who were having a standoff with his brothers of the free and accepted, or ancient free and accepted Masons, the AFAM. You see it on a lot of logos that involve Masonry. It's actually on the Massachusetts State Police patch, and I showed it in that video. These Moors are associated with Freemasonry. But how I want to tie that back to Skiba is he's done a lot of good studies about the AC and who it might be, and the fact that he would come from the tribe of Dan. And a lot of people think, and it was one of the reasons we went into, I think it was Iraq back in the day in 02 or 03 after 9/11, was to retrieve Nimrod's body. So there's a lot of people that say Nimrod was the first Freemason. Don't know that for a fact, but it's been talked about quite a lot by many different, just by some great minds. Let's just put it that way. That Nimrod was actually the first Mason. So with this rise of the Moors, and most of these guys are of the African American descent, or African descent, I should say, because that's actually where the Moors originally come from, was around Europe and North Africa, in that area. But I just found that interesting that Skiba has said it comes from the tribe of Dan, or will come from the tribe of Dan. And I think the book of Jasher, Nimrod was actually a good guy at one time. and he kind of fell off and became, an enemy of God, more or less. And there are people who are saying that we have, in America, I should say the American government has his body in a deep underground bunker over in the Colorado area, that they have confiscated a lot of like Sanskrit tablets that have to do with resurrecting the dead. And some people speculate that they've raised him or his spirit from the dead, and somehow or another he has to do with artificial intelligence. We all know that the AI is associated with the AC. So it's just my mind working here. If you have any things to add to this, I'd love to read the comments. But I just find that weird and coincidental that Kushner would have this flag up. And then you got the Rise of the Moors displaying pretty much the same flag. And now the Pope is bending down, kissing their feet. It's just pretty odd to me how this is all working together. So I don't know what kind of nationality Nimrod was. I can't say he was an African descent or European or I don't know. But all these things playing, the black against white and black against everybody else, with this black Hebrew movement being that they are the true Israelites. But I've stated in the past that there were 12 tribes, and there just happens to be 12 ethnic groups around the world. Just coincidence, I suppose. But I have no doubt that those of African descent were, in fact, Israelites, just like the Native Americans were, in fact, Israelites. They spoke Hebrew. You can find it in cave drawings all over America. It's kind of at the Tower of Babel when Nimrod was in power, when God confounded the languages and spread across the earth the people. Just like the 10 tribes that are still not gathered back in the great land of, Bagelville, as Carl would say. But it's just me thinking, I think this just, the way things are coming about, I'm wondering how this is all playing together. It's just, what is the outcome? What is the point of all this and these Moors and Nimrod and all these other things that are just kind of tying together in the Abrahamic Accords? And I remember there was something to do with this guy from Morocco. I don't know if he was their president or whatever, but he had a lot to do with our sticker that they're trying to mandate the world to have. So Morocco is definitely a point of focus in all this. I don't know why. Maybe that is the home base of the Moors. I don't know. I just find it funny that Nimrod is supposed to be the first Mason, and these Moors are heavily associated with Masonry. And there's been people who say the Boule, which is the black side of Freemasonry, are lower class than the white side, but I'm kind of seeing it the other way around. I mean, after all, the Pope is bowing down and wheezing and can barely lift his self back up, much less stand up. As you can see, everyone helping him to get down to the ground and kiss their feet, and then helping him back up. That's just crazy. What's it about? What's that about? If you have any information, let me know in the comments, man. I would love to hear it. I would love to read it. And something's definitely going on. I made that video 3 months ago just because I felt led to. And here we are, the Moors being brought up again. Just find that very suspicious. So leave your comments in the comments section, man. I love you guys.
Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints,